Slayer's Log 37. As I have mentioned in my logs before, the aetheric breakdown of behemoths makes it quite tedious too.
You haven't been making any Slayer's logs. Either think them up in your head or start mumbling about it on the ride home.
Ad addendum. I have just been informed that I have not been making these logs as I thought I had. Shows how stressful the situation can actually be. So that means... So there isn't a log on the importance of your loadouts?
Not at all.
There isn't a log on knowing your behemoths that you're going to fight?
Nope.
There isn't a log on the importance of your tonics and pylons?
Nope.
And you're absolutely telling me there isn't a log on wounding, staggering, and breaking off pieces of a behemoth?
Not a one.
Oh, come on! Fine. I guess I'll start from the beginning. Official beginning of Slayer's Log. For real this time. Slayer's Log number 1. An introduction. So you're a Slayer now. Well, recruit is probably more accurate. But we're not judgy. You want to be in the big leagues, do you? Well, I guess I can spare a bit of my knowledge that I've gathered along the way. So I guess I'll start with the basics. Rule number 1. The main thing you have to remember, that we all have to remember. Survive. Yeah, I know that sounds stupid. And yeah, you're thinking to yourself, psh, I do that all the time. But I've seen seasoned slayers eat dirt quite a few times, and I've had to wipe them up off the ground and revive them with our stims to get them moving again. It's better to back away and resituate than it is to go full ham and get drunk on how much damage and pain you're causing a behemoth. Don't get me wrong, the sound of an embermane yelping or the warble from a pangar or hellion as it's limping is music to my ears. But you know what isn't music to my ears? Certainly not that when I'm head down, ass up in the air, dead from allowing the rush to get to me and push away cognitive thinking. So yeah, survive. Use any means necessary to do that. Be it your loadout, tonics, pylons, or smartly using the aether vent. Yes, I said smartly. Don't be the idiot or asshole that uses up all the charges and huffs the entire thing, leaving nothing for your companions. Unless they tell you to or give you permission to. The vent should be used among those on the hunt with you. Tonics, pylons, and grenades are a Slayer's best friends. Well, besides the airship captain that takes you place to place. Which reminds me, thank the bastard, alright? They haul your sorry asses from Ramsgate to areas that probably stress them the hell out. So buy the person an ale or something. Hell, even just a literal thank you would probably mean the world to them. I'm getting off topic here though. Like I was saying, tonics, pylons, and grenades are a Slayer's best friends, so make sure to use them. Of course, weapons and armor are a Slayer's best friend too, but that's besides the point. Moving on, I'll talk about all of that in a later log. Now it's just the basics. Rule number 2. Dodge. Learn to dodge. I don't care if you're rolling in the streets of Ramsgate. I don't care if you're rolling around on the islands even before you find a behemoth that you've been sent to slay. Hell, I don't care if you're rolling on the roofs. Just practice your dodging. It's important and imperative that you learn to dodge accordingly and skillfully, because this literally ties into rule number 1. If you learn to dodge a behemoth's attacks, then you learn to survive. If you learn to survive, then you learn to live. And well, you learn to become a better slayer in the process while you're at it. Take smaller hunts. Until you understand and can read a behemoth's moves in order to gauge when to dodge, take hunts of the lesser behemoths. Rule number 3. Learn your behemoths. Learn the ins and outs of each and every one of them. If you're like me, you'll even keep notes for references. Learn their movements, their body language. Learn their mannerisms. Learn their personalities. Learn their temperaments. No behemoth is truthfully the same as another. They each have variances with even them just minuscule with their actions. Learn where to use your weapons to the best of advantages. Learn which weapons would be better to use on certain behemoths, and which weapons shouldn't be used, be it your skill, or just maybe they aren't as good as others. Learn which parts of a behemoth are needed for Moira to craft your armor. Learn what parts of a behemoth Wills needs in order to create your weapons. Learn which behemoth parts are needed for Admiral Janek to craft your Ostian repeaters. And learn which parts are needed for Arkan to create your lanterns. Learn the best way to move around a behemoth in order to take the least amount of damage. Some behemoths are easy to move around than others. Some are quick with their reflexes. Some of them have a look where they're slow, and then surprise you when they're super fast with some of their movements. Always expect the unexpected with them. I'll go into deeper details with the different behemoths and other logs, I promise. Right now is all about the basics. Rule number 4. Hunt etiquette. Yeah, I know a bunch of you are going to rush off and hunt those behemoths alone. And yeah, that's nice, that's cool, that's awesome. But the times you actually end up having to team up with other slayers to take down a behemoth, there's etiquette you should follow. 1. Never drain the Aether Vent. I know I said that before, but just to reiterate. Just don't. Unless other slayers tell you that you can, try to leave some of the Aether Vent for others. Plus, we still aren't actually sure what huffing the thing will do to a slayer's brain. Who knows? It could have consequences we aren't even sure of yet. As a side note, if there are any slayers out there that have gotten high off of huffing that vent, please let Dr. Kriani know. I'm sure she'd be very fascinated in knowing that. Also, I'd love to hear her mumble it as she thinks things over. 2. Don't care if you don't like those you're hunting with or not, or if you don't see eye to eye with them, or if you just downright don't want to be there. If you sign up for a hunt and you get on that airship, you damn well better follow through with that hunt, even if it's looking like it's a failure. Sure, dropping off of the airship and seeing a Hellion slowly lumber towards you with that gaze straight from hell and yet lifeless can downright terrify even the best of us slayers. But that doesn't give you an excuse to just nope out of the entire thing and bail on the rest of your hunting party to leave them with the behemoth to fight alone. 3. Do not do something similar to that and join the hunt only to not fight the behemoth, but to find some place to lay low until the fight is done and allow others to do the work for you before reaping the benefits. If you do, I will find you, and I will make sure you regret it. 4. Try to work with the other slayers in your hunt. If one of them asks if you all could focus on a specific part of the behemoth, try and do your best to oblige and help a fellow slayer out with collecting the pieces they need for their gear. I'm sure you've been in similar situations where you've needed specific pieces as well, so it's just slayer courtesy, if you will. 5. When a hunt is finished, thanks those you were with, even if you weren't able to finish the behemoth off. Even if the airship captain pulled ranks and decided to grab you all up because they were worried. Thank your fellow slayers. You all put in the time and effort. You all tried. And that's a lot. 6. The moral of all of this is, well, just don't be a dick. Don't be an ass. Treat others how you'd like to be treated, or how you hoped you would be treated. Sure, we all get mad at one another at some point in time, but don't be a dick about it, yeah? Of course, things aren't always so cut and dry. The world isn't black and white. There are gray areas as well. So use your own judgment when it comes to etiquette. Just remember, not everyone thinks the same way as you do. So, I think that about covers it. Let's see. Surviving, dodging, which they kind of go hand in hand, really. Learn your behemoths, in and out. And etiquette. Am I missing something? I feel like I'm missing something. Oh yeah! This one is just as important as surviving. Rule number 5. don't be afraid to ask for help, be it from Kat herself or others for slayers. We're a community. We are what we have. A family, if you will. So don't be afraid to reach out and ask for someone to help. Be it tips and tricks on how to possibly down a behemoth, or possibly what gear would be better fitted to work against a specific fight, or maybe even just another to come hunting with you. Reach out. There are loads of us around, and we are willing to help. You just have to take that leap and ask us. And last, but certainly not least, rule number 6. Be kind to yourself. And I mean that literally. We aren't perfect. None of us are. Even the best slayers have had hunts every now and then that haven't gone like they've wanted. We don't always come back from a hunt triumphant. And sometimes it hurts, because we've tried our best and it didn't seem to matter. But you know what? It isn't the end of the world. Sometimes we've got to let the behemoths win one or two. It's a learning experience. So what? You took a dirt nap. But I'm sure you learned something in the process. Like, alright, so I need to dodge during this time to miss its attack. Or, I didn't know it did that. Now I do, though. Being a slayer is a learning experience in itself. Always be open to learn and to adapt. I know sometimes you just want to be critical on yourself, but do me this favor. Those times where you're critical on yourself, take the moment to say those harsh things. But then I want you to then take a moment and list at least 3 things that you did well. Be it, I completed a combo, or I lasted longer this time, or my timing is getting better. Hell, even I looked good is viable. Something that is positive. Just find 3 things that you did well and say them to yourself. And don't worry, soon enough you'll get there. You'll get to that goal of being one of the best slayers. So that's about it for the basics. I think it's high time I wrap this log up. It's getting kind of long in a way. Hope this was helpful in some sense of the word. Hiku. Oh, almost forgot. From one slayer to another, if there's even just one thing you take from this entire log of mine, remember this important detail. I believe in you. Always have, always will. Now, what are you waiting for? Go on, get out there and hunt some behemoths.